Hi everyone! Today's unboxing is for another book haul. Another book haul. Yes, I'm addicted to this website, I'm telling you. This is the bookoutlet.com website where you can get loads of books at discount prices. And they're new books. They are what they call remainders, which are the books that don't sell in the stores when they're new, and the bookstores will ship them back to the publisher, and then the publisher will let discount booksellers sell them at lower rates. So that's where you get the discounted prices. They are usually noted by a Sharpie mark on the edge of the book to let you know that even though they're new, they're not like brand new in stores. They've been sitting in stores and now they're for sale. For me, unless they get bounced around a lot in the boxes, they're in great shape. So I don't care. I love my books. I love getting discounts, and this place is definitely the place to do that. I haunt this website for discounts and deals, and if you follow me for any length of time, you know how much I love this place. So I've stopped even trying to consider how many I've done of these because it's just been so many. Okay, so right now you're looking at so much it's filling my screen. I'm gonna have to move the boxes. This one is a heavier one, and it is, well, it's a heavier, taller one. So like this much. And then that one's a smaller one. That one's not quite as heavy, but this was one order. Yeah, I'm in so much trouble with these people, I know. I feel like I'm going to be one of their best customers. Okay, so let me tell you about this one real quick. This one, I did a January haul, and then I couldn't resist it. So this is another one from January, but this one has got some more more specifics to it. I'll get into in just a moment. Let me tell you that I ordered 19 total books for $123 approximately, which amounts to be about $6.50 a book. Now, every book did not cost that. That's the average. Some of them were a little more. Some of them were a little less. It took 8 days from the time that I placed this order to get it. I will go in and start browsing like new arrivals and then dumping stuff into my cart. And then when I get enough in there and I'm ready to buy, or if I see something that's low on stock and I'm afraid I might lose out on it, I'll go ahead and place my order. I'll pull out the books that I don't necessarily want in that one. So this one is my second haul for January 2023. This one I'm going to call my children's book haul because this is loaded with children's books. It does have some adult books, and I'll tell you about them as I'm going along. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be loud for a moment as I as I open the box up. Yep. And I'm going to have to move the box out of the way. I'll come back to that one in a second. Let me be loud with this one. Cover your ears. Okay. Okay. So we're moving. I'm going to move the heavy one. All right. Okay. Now I have to admit, I have been feeling a little bit, I would say, nostalgic in probably the last year or so. I'm not sure why. It doesn't have anything really to do with hitting a particular age or anything particular going on in my life. It's just, I've come across some things where I've been like wishing that I had kept things from when I was a kid, toys and stuff, things that, not because of their value, but because of their sentimental value to me, those things that I have fond memories of. Oh, I wish I had kept that, right? And books especially, because I have been a reader since I could hold my own book, basically. Actually, before that, because my mom always read to me. Funny story, I actually have my first library card, which I got when I was probably about 3. And I learned how to write my nickname in order to get it. I had to be able to write my name. I couldn't even write my full name. I could only write my first name, and it was my nickname, not my full name. And the librarian told my mom if she can write her first name, she can have a library card. So I learned how to write my first name just so I could get that library card, and I still have it. So yeah, so I haunted the library as I was growing up, and now I haunt bookstores. All right. So some of these things, especially with the kids' books, are going to be nostalgic for me. All right. That was a pretty big box for this little stack. Okay, excuse me for a second. Yep, had to drop that on the floor. Okay. So the first book that I have is a book called Five Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed. Do you guys remember this song? 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, right? So this one is because I decided I was going to pull some of these books from my childhood and my kids' childhood. Since I want to like keep them, they're hard copies. So like this is a hard copy of that book. This is one, I didn't read this as a child. This is one that I read to my kids as children. We sang the song. Here's the song. We read the book. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. Right? My kids love this book. There's something about being able to sing along to it, right? Okay, so then this one is from my childhood, Pippi Longstocking. I loved the Pippi books. This one is Pippi Goes on Board. It is a hard copy. It looks got a little dirty there. Does it have illustrations? It has some illustrations to it. I loved the Pippi books. For me as a child, they were just fun because Pippi's dad goes off to sea and gets lost at sea for a while, and she's all by herself. And, you know, what kid doesn't dream of being all by themselves without any parents around, right? So, okay, so there's that one. And then I picked up a Winnie the Pooh. Now, this was not one that I read when I was a kid or even read to my kids, but I love Winnie the Pooh. I love the stories. This just wasn't something that I read a whole lot, but I thought, you know, I really want to have this just to have it. I might actually have to go through and read it because like I said, I probably did read it as a kid, but I don't remember reading it. So this is going to be like one of those like a classic books that I'm going to read. I've been trying to, that's been a goal of mine this year, has been to try to get more classics into my reading. So the children's classics are a great way to do that because they're shorter. Okay, so then I have this book, which is What Moms Can't Do, which is another book that I read to my kids when they were little. You know, sometimes moms can't remember where they put the car keys. This would have been a book that we would have checked out from the library. I don't remember owning it. There's also a What Dads Can't Do as well. But I do remember reading it to my kids. I definitely passed along my love of reading to my children. And then this is definitely from when I was a kid. A Baby Sister for Frances. There are other books in the Frances series, but this was from when I was a kid. I'm gonna pull up. Okay. Yeah, so we've got Bedtime for Frances, Bread and Jam for Frances, Best Friends for Frances, A Birthday for Frances. Again, a hardcover because I want to save this. This is not one that I owned. This is one that I checked out from the library. Oh, the stories I could tell you from my trips to the library. Okay. Then I have the bigger, heavier box. Okay, and this one I'm just gonna pull out things as I get to them. Okay, so this is one of my favorite stories. I shouldn't say that because I loved a lot of books when I was a kid. But this is one, the Betsy and Tacy books were ones that I checked out a lot. I reread those constantly. I loved them. So this one's a treasury with like the first 4 in the series. Betsy and Tacy, Betsy and Tacy and Tib, Betsy and Tacy go over the big hill, Betsy and Tacy go downtown, Betsy, Tacy, Tib, right? So this is just a nice, it's a paperback copy because I didn't see a hard copy, but at some point I probably should get a hard copy. And this has the illustrations. See, there's the illustrations. I loved these books. I actually have each one of these in separate paperback books that I kept. And well, when I got to be an adult, I got another copy of them. So, but I just loved, this was all in one treasury. Okay. And then sticking with Pippi Longstocking, I have another hard copy. This is Pippi in the South Seas. Like the other one. I think that I wasn't able to get just Pippi Longstocking, the first one. I'm just going to stick that one right on top of that. All right. And then, also by Maud Hart, Lovelace, more Betsy and Tacy books. This is Betsy. This is when Betsy grows up. So now this is when she was a little girl. This is Betsy was a junior and Betsy and Joe. So her in high school and courting. There's Joe. I can't wait to dive into these ones again and see what kind of memories crop up for me there. And because we were still working on a sale there, I have Heavens to Betsy and Betsy in Spite of Herself. And that one, I don't remember where that one falls within there. I think it might be between the two that I've got here. Let's see if it says. No, I don't. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So we have Betsy, Tacy, Betsy, Tacy. So these are the first ones. And then this would be 5 and 6. And this one's 7 and 8. And then we go on to Betsy and the Great World, Betsy's Wedding. The author also wrote some other ones, the Deep Valley books. All right. And then this one I had when I was a kid, but it really got worn out when I had my kids because I love this so much. This was one that I read along. How to Be a Grouch. I love this one as a kid because this one had so much detail to it. I mean, I could spend hours looking at all of the illustrations. You know, so not only was it a fun read, but look at all the detail within the pictures. So yeah, I spent a lot of time reading this as a kid. And this was one that I read a lot to my kids, but I did not actually have a copy of it. So I had to get a copy of it. Okay. And then because it was on sale, I got this hard copy of the first set of Garfield comics. Garfield Complete Works from 1978 to 1979. I have to say that's not my favorite illustrations of Garfield, but this is like a collectible hard copy, right? I much prefer Garfield later on as Jim Davis was able to like kind of round him out a little bit more. But I love comics. I have always loved comics. And this was one of those things where I was like, I really want to have something nice and hardcover on my shelves. And that was on sale. I did not see any other volumes, but if Book Outlet, when or if they get more of those hard copies and other volumes, I'm definitely going to pick those up. Oh, I was wrong. And I did find Pippi Longstocking, just Pippi Longstocking. This is the first book. She's got the horse and she can lift the horse with her bare hands. Yep. It's got some of the illustrations in it. More Pippi books. Okay. All right. And then Now, while I was on there, sometimes you come across books that are low in stock, and there are sometimes, even when, like this one was, I'm going to get all children's books. Well, it turned out that I came across this one, which I did not have on my shelf. This is by Stuart Parks, Portrait of Vengeance. It's part of a series, the Gwen Marcy series. This is a suspense book, a Christian suspense. And I have these ones on my shelves, but I didn't have this one. And if you've watched me any length of time, you know that I love to have my series finished before I read them. So this was one of those ones where the price was really good, it was low in stock, and I needed it. So, and then I came across this one, The Corpse at the Crystal Palace, which is a Daisy Dalrymple mystery by Carola Dunn. And I just recently got one of these mysteries in the series in another box, in a book subscription. And so when I came across this one at a really good price, I thought, well, I'm going to get that one too. So this is just a cozy mystery in trade paperback form. All right. And then I have, look, another one. Now this is not Betsy and Tacy. This is one of her Maud Hart Lovelace's other books. This is Emily of Deep Valley. Like I said, I wish I could have gotten these in the hardcovers, but I liked that I got them all in like the same style. So they'll look nice on my shelf. And so you can see here, that mark there, that's what's telling me it's a remainder. The stack is getting huge, isn't it? All right. Let me take these. Okay, last 4 of them. This one I came across, this is not a children's book, but it was dirt cheap. And I was like I need more cookbooks. I collect cookbooks like I collect all my other books. I can't possibly go through them. But I love cookbooks that have easy recipes and lots of pictures. And this one intrigued me because it's the lower calorie. So, you know, just trying to eat healthier. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, I'd like to have, that sounds good. It's cheap, I'm going to get it. Okay, getting back to my children's books, I have a Curious George book. Now, Curious George was not my biggest read when I was a kid, but I did like Curious George, but it wasn't like my favorite one. But nostalgia, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, you can't really have a collection of children's books and not have Curious George. Curious George always getting himself in trouble. Look at the illustrations. Just love that. Just love that. Okay, and then I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Now, it is a hardcover. It is a hardcover. And it's the song, basically, right? Here it is, illustrated song. Now, my kids did not have this. I did not have this, but this is, I know I'm weird for admitting this, but this is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I love this song. Every time I wait for it to come on the radio and I sing along to it. As a matter of fact, Hallmark has got hippopotamus ornaments now. Apparently new ones every year, because I was super excited the first year it came out and then discovered that the next 2 years after that, they were doing a new, like a different version of it. So they all have the music. So when I go to hang it on my tree, I got to play the music, I got to sing to it. So of course, when I saw the book, I'm like, I got to get that. I just have to get that. Okay, and then the last one I have is a favorite in my household. And that is this one. This is The Little Mouse, the Red Ripe Strawberry, and the Big Hungry Bear. Now, we love this book. This was not from when I was a kid. This was from when my kids were children. Look at the illustrations on this. I mean, this is just, it's just beautiful. It is just beautiful. I actually have a copy of this, but because we read it so much, I read it so much to my kids. It's worn and the binding is starting to come loose. So I'm like, I have got to get a copy that I can just have on my shelf because we love this one. I kid you not. I read this one so much to my kids that I have it memorized. I could probably, even after all these years, it's been a lot of years since I've read this one, I could probably still quote it word for word. I so recommend this. If you have kids, you need to have this book. It's cute. It's fun. I'm raving. I know. Okay. So, wow. Look at all that. Oh my goodness. So that is everything that I got in my January 2023, I'm going to call it my children's book outlet.com haul. If you like this video, please take a moment to hit the like button down below. And also, if you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, it'll let you know when I post my unboxings. And as always, I love your comments. What did you think of this haul? Were there any books that were nostalgic to you? Are there any books that you have read? Any of them that you would definitely recommend? Any of them that you would want to have on your shelf, or if you just want to say hi, that's okay too. I love your comments. I read and respond to them all. And that is going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.